Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the This is the Music Meets Podcast, an independent podcast show that's dedicated to introducing you to rising indie and alternative artists from across the UK and Ireland. If you are new to the podcast, then please hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on any future episodes, and feel free to leave a comment as it really does help us beat the algorithms. It's now time for episode 119, and I'm delighted to be joined by The Chase, who are undoubtedly one of the most exciting bands around today. Over the course of today's episode, we're going to talk about the band's forthcoming new single, Unbreakable, their upcoming UK tour, and that huge UB40 announcement. So Tyler, Dylan and James, welcome back to This is the Music Meets podcast. Thank you so much for coming on. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, good, mate. Oh, good. Thank you very much. How are you?
Yes, I'm mate.
Good. I say it's great to have you here. Yeah, I'm not too bad. I was just saying to Dylan before you boys joined us that I can't believe how cold it's got in the last sort of couple of days. So yeah, just trying to acclimatise to the cold at the minute. To be fair.
Yeah, I've been working outside in it all day today as well. So one minute I was boiling, the next minute I was rained on, the next minute it was fucking freezing and boiling again. Oh my, it's gone mental, the weather.
Typical Brits as well, right? We're never happy unless we're moaning about the weather, right?
Yeah, that's the way it goes, isn't
it? So appearance number 2 on the podcast. So thank you again for wanting to come on and have a chat, all things The Chase and music and details of the previous episode are going to be in the episode bio if you want to check that out, or if you're watching on YouTube, it'll be up on the screen now. I think since you was on about April time, I think earlier on this year, it's been a pretty busy few months for you. So yeah, how much have you boys been enjoying it? Obviously with another headline tour in the bag as well in amongst all that.
Yeah, no, it's just been class at the minute, mate, to be fair. It's just been like just constant graft at the minute. I say it's organising this next tour, and obviously we've only really not long come off the last one. Obviously we've had like a couple of big gigs come up and a couple of vinyls arrive. So yeah, it's been an exciting time, mate, at the minute.
Yeah, definitely. And sort of we'll come on to the tour obviously the new tour coming up in November in a bit, but obviously just want to rewind a little bit. Obviously in June you put out a live EP which consisted of 6 tracks, which really captures what the Chase playing live, what you're all about. High energy, and it sounds like to me that you're having like the best time of your lives up there. So just sort of specifically with that release, why did you decide to put like a live EP out there? Was it something that's always been an ambition of the band to do?
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, we kind of wanted to, because obviously that was our big sort of Nottingham headline show.
Yeah,
we kind of wanted to do something just a little bit different with it. Obviously, it took a bit longer to get out than what we anticipated. Like most things do, it takes a bit longer than what you think. But yeah, we just can't. I don't know. We just wanted to do something a bit different. But not many bands sort of get the opportunity to do it at this sort of stage, and obviously we knew the venue where we were playing that. We knew that we had the capabilities to do it all and get a good setup and sound from it. So we just thought, yeah, let's go for it. It's something different. It's something fresh, and yeah, it was just a really, I don't know, I feel like it does capture it as live properly, and it's a shame we couldn't get all of the songs on. I mean, when you're jumping around, you do kick things and do a few, I mean, the microphones go flying and whatever. But yeah, so unfortunately they were like the cleanest sounding ones, but I say cleanest, there was a lot of swearing involved in a lot of it. So I accidentally can't have more. I couldn't believe how much I swear on stage.
You're in the moment. You're in the moment, right?
Every time you say the word couldn't have to do a shot, that's a bit.
Motherfucker this, motherfucker that. Is that fucking... I'm just offending everyone here.
Wash your mouth out with soap, mate. Carry on.
You what?
Wash your mouth out with soap, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry, Dad.
New wronging coming there for the tour, right?
Yeah.
And of course, talking about EPs, obviously those that are watching this on our YouTube channel will be able to see just over my shoulder there, the Not the Fucking Game Show EP has finally landed. We've obviously spoken a little bit off air just before this podcast started, but I mean, James, how pleased are you that he's finally out?
Yeah, it's a huge fucking relief, to be honest, mate. Huge relief. It's just, yeah, shame to have to keep everyone waiting that long, but we're just so glad to be able to finally have it out now. And yeah, onwards and upwards. Yeah, we just have to, we're on about doing a practical joke and using that company again to see how.
Surprise, surprise.
April Fools, the board of your vinyl, that specific company again.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, you got to do that. I think the good thing is that you know, obviously it's great that he's here, and I think I've obviously noticed we're recording this on a Wednesday, and obviously there's been quite a few people that have shared that they've had their copies today, and I think it just goes to show how much everyone is behind you as a band. That they obviously obviously was out of your hands. It was not anything to do with you guys, and I think that people are just happy that it's here, and it's nice actually to hear you actually on a vinyl rather than on streaming platforms and all that sort of stuff as well.
No, it does take. Yeah, do you know what? I would like to thank everyone who has bought it and stood by us. To be fair, for it, because understandably, if people start, I mean, it would be understandable if people did sort of get a bit arsey with us. I think, well, I can't really blame you. You know what I mean? It is a lot of money, and you kind of think, well, yeah, we are. It is our face on it. You know what I mean? It's our product, and you haven't received it. I would get it, but everyone's been world class. So yeah, thanks to you all who bought it and shown some patience really with us. So big love to you all.
That's it.
And talking of faces, there are some nice little cute young photos on the back of the artwork as well, isn't there?
You can actually see Luke's forehead on one of them. You know what I mean?
That's got to be a first, right?
Yeah.
Before he went on Justin Bieber.
Yeah, that's it.
It's stuck in that 2012, really. Yeah.
Brilliant, great stuff. So let's sort of fast forward a little bit, a couple of months. Well, probably about a month on from the live EP release. Obviously, your most recent single, Colombo, it's just racked up 26,000 Spotify streams since its release. As I say, they're back in July, and also it's your first sort of studio release as well since the Bonzo Bonanza EP. So just about 12 months difference between the two release times. So was that kind of like a deliberate decision to take your time in putting out a single? Or was this just kind of how it sort of panned out because of everything else that was going on?
Honestly, it was just the way the cookie crumbled with that one. Like again, it just took ages. We wanted to get music out a lot earlier than that, but obviously things just, if I don't know, at the end of last year, things just didn't seem to work out as we wanted them to. So yeah, it was nice to get that one out and ready to be and released. To be fair, Colombo, like we've been sat on it for ages. Like the actual song recorded, when was it? Like October, November last year.
Yeah, and then before then we had like an older version of it because we used to gig it.
Yeah,
find it on some old set lists like ages ago. And yeah, we used to gig it, but it just wasn't quite right. So we did go to the studio and record it once, but then it just wasn't really vibing with it. So we went back and sort of tied it up a little bit.
Yeah, I've listened to that first version. It was terrible. I'm really glad they didn't release it.
It wasn't that bad. I thought it was all right, to be fair.
It was awful. It had no brass in it or anything. There was no it was just. Yeah, and we tried to make it a bit rocky, didn't we?
Yeah, it's more like the choral sort of laid back, sort of like
nice,
particularly indie. But then this time we sort of made it more swingy rather than skiffly a little bit.
Yeah,
I like that word, skiffly. I like that.
Rather than skiffly. A bit.
and obviously, so like the song itself, obviously it is really captivating from that first listen. So kind of like, are you always, when you're in the obviously when you're on stage, you look like, as I said before, you look like you're having the time of your life. So is that when you're on record, is that what you're trying to get across in the record about how much fun you guys are having, recording it and sort of giving, people sort of a double whammy, if you like. So we're having the time of our lives in the studio. This is what we sound like in the studio, but come and hear us live as well, because what you see is what you get type of thing.
Yeah, I think it's. I think that's, to be fair, I think Colombo is the first. I'd say maybe that and Trumpet are probably the only two songs to date that we've got that are proper, like, you can tell that's what we like live.
Yeah.
But it's just something about them. The rest, I don't know if I don't know. It's so different to recording in the studio is to playing live because obviously you all individually and we can't afford to go into that Abbey Road and all play up together. And you know what I mean? Not yet anyway. It's all like the overdubs and stuff like that. So it kind of takes that sort of like element of us out of it because you're sort of playing individually in that. So I think that Columbo, I think we captured it really well. Actually, I think it sort of shows what we are like live, and I think obviously people are vibing with it. So I think that's obviously been received as well.
Yeah, no, definitely, and obviously, you've got a new single coming out on the 20th of September, right? It's called Unbreakable, and hopefully, the podcast will definitely be out by then. I would have imagined, but sort of, how are you guys feeling about having a new single out there again?
Yeah.
Can't wait to get it out. This one, I think this was the most different sort of sounding one. At least it's quite like a different take on what we do, really, but it still sort of sounds like us at the same time. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes down, see the reaction to it. Really.
Yeah, because there's a dirty flute solo in it.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that actually. So why then did you've got the a cappella introduction as well to it, and obviously the flute solos you've just mentioned. So it's quite a bit more of like I guess a bit of an experimental sort of track in comparison to what you've released previously. So is that how do you see do you think the band are going to adopt that approach in the future, or is this more of a one-off and just sort of you're going to see what the reaction's like to it?
You feel like this batch of songs that we've done, they're all a bit. It's not like Sergeant Pepper. Yeah, it's not Sergeant Pepper, but it's like it's not that far out. But yeah, they're all just a bit quirky. Like I don't know. We just sort of like we got the core of the songs, and we just sort of like had fun with them in the studio. I say, oh, should we try like say the a cappella intro, or instead of a guitar solo, should we do something else? Oh, what about a flute? Why? I don't know. It just sort of ended up that way. But to be honest, I really do like Unbreakable. I think it's one of my favourite tracks we've done. It's dead arrogant. It's so big headed. The old premise of the lyrics was like someone was sort of grilling into me a little bit, calling me every name under the sun, saying I'm a bit big headed, this, a bit like that, a bit like that. So, you know what? Just to piss you off, I'm not going to say anything. It's really petty. I'm going to put all that in a song. So thank you. You know who you are.
And who? Sorry, what was that? Sorry.
Saying like we just see how far we can take the piss with it, really.
And who's going to play the flute solo live?
Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
Get him up there. And talking of live, you've obviously got a 5-date headline tour coming up in November. You're playing in Sheffield, Birmingham, Bristol, Bridlington Spa, and Leeds. And the ticket link for the tour is going to be in the episode bio as well. So obviously we've mentioned about you playing live, but how excited are you to be, going back out on the road again?
Go on, D.
Yeah, absolutely buzzing for it. You know what I mean? It's my favourite part of the whole band experience, really. Just getting out there gigging, the fun you have on the road, the sort of meeting new people, new venues, new cities. Yeah, man, love it. Can't wait to get back on the stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. And looking at your sort of your set list for this tour, is there going to? I'm assuming that obviously the new single Unbreakable is going to be in it. Is there going to be any other sort of new songs in there, or are you going to be sort of 100% the classic set list, so to speak?
Definitely going to add some new tunes in there, some bits and bobs to spice it up. You know what I mean? You don't know what to expect. We had John McClure at our fucking Knots headline show, so you never know what we're going to bring out. I'll keep it fresh.
We can't keep the
yeah, we can't. Yeah, we might have someone a bit more E-list or something like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, might get Ronnie Pickering or something like that. You know what I mean?
Ronnie Pickering.
Get him for the blue solo.
You know what I am?
That's it.
And obviously the second big news coming out of the Chase HQ this week. Obviously the first of course, being that you were coming on the podcast this week, right? But obviously you're supporting UB40, obviously with Ali Campbell, next Monday, the 16th of September at Bridlington Spa. Again, the ticket link for that gig will be in the episode bio as well. So, sort of a couple of questions really on this. First of all, I'm guessing you must be absolutely buzzing to be playing alongside such a legendary band. But how did it come about?
Last minute, to be fair. What day is it today? Wednesday.
Monday, wasn't it?
Yeah, we found out on Monday. So it wasn't anything that was in the pipeline for ages. We were sort of like, it was mentioned 2 weeks ago, I want to say. About a week, 2 weeks ago. Thought, oh yeah, it'd be classic if that comes through. And then we heard nothing. I thought, oh, it's gone then.
Yeah.
And I was just about to email the person. I thought, oh, have you got any update? Obviously, it's like next week now. What's the crack? Then I didn't. I thought I'll give him some time. And then next week, about an hour later, it come through. So I was like, oh, you're on. I was like, come on. Looks like Bridlington's a place to be for us.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, obviously on the headline tour and back here as well. Have you been there before to the venue?
Yes, obviously we done the Kaiser Chiefs show there as well, didn't we?
Of course you did. Yeah.
Days there as well. Like, and then we had our own sellout show there before. So there's just something in the air in Bridlington, man.
Yeah, man, it's banging up there. The fans love it.
Yeah,
so mad for it.
Brilliant place.
Big up Joe and the team.
and kind of like as well as of UB40 had like a particular influence on you, either like the sound of the chase or maybe like the songwriting or maybe just going, yeah, do you know what? I love that tune. That's a bit of a banger, like.
For me personally, I think it's something like I've always sort of listened to, innit? So whether subconsciously, you know what I mean? Because it's just come into the music, yeah. It's always been a part of sort of the library, you know what I mean?
Yes, mum rang me today. She's like, "Oh, make sure you get a video from Ali Campbell for Grandma because she really fancies him." Yeah, I'm sure he'll want to send me now. Yeah.
Get her on the old FaceTime, right?
Yeah. We are in that. She really loves for that UB40 and that stuff. So it's always been around us.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, sure. And looking at that gig and obviously the headline tour, sort of, how would you approach like your set list for the for the tour and obviously for the for the UB40 show? Is anything that you're going to be considering in terms of what songs like the running order or maybe what songs you think people might want to hear? Would there be any differences at all?
I think there's got to be, to be fair. Like, if you look at that sort of audience, obviously they're like a sort of reggae-ish inspired band, aren't they? So I think obviously we've got like a lot of the ska elements. So I think we should have to sort of tailor it to that, really. I mean, kind of important too, but then you can't really change too much because you are what you are at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So you got to go in there and give them what you do. But obviously you can always chuck a couple more in that are like that. You know what I mean? And then if you're supporting, I don't know, Oasis, then you can chuck a bit more of those sort of things in. So you know what I mean? Listening, we'd have to open up for you.
As revealed exclusively on This Is the Music, the first support for next year would be the dream, right? Talking of which, what are you boys going to any of those Oasis dates next year?
Maybe. Maybe a Saturday night in Manchester, maybe.
Watch this space.
I'm getting mugged in the street now for my tickets, aren't I?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Don't lose your phone anywhere. And obviously, as you know, boys, you've been on before. We like to ask all of our guests on the podcast some sort of questions that are meant to be a little bit more light-hearted and sort of laid back and just help the listeners find out a little bit more about you as an artist. So the first question we're going to ask you is, if your van broke down, by the way, before I start this question, I should just say I sincerely hope this doesn't happen on the tour or on the way to Bridlington on Monday. So if it does happen, it's not my fault. So if your van broke down in the middle of nowhere, which band member would you send to go and find help, and why?
It would not be. It would not be him.
No, I get lost.
It'll probably be Luke.
Never see him again.
I knew that.
Feral child.
You're like a Mowgli kind of kid.
Yeah. I said, you know what? I'm going to put myself forward for that.
Yeah, I see.
It's gotta be
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, definitely.
Well,
You'll get too
okay.
angry. You'll get pissed off, and you'll be like, "I'm looking." The only way to get out of it is by doing something. Stop waiting for help. We're not going to get in it.
James is lost. Don't call me arsed. I was fucking doing.
Yeah. I'll be fucking laying down.
Luke will be fine as long as he's got a big tub of Pringles here. That's all right. And we'll probably get skinny on the way.
Brilliant. So if the Chase had a theme song every time you entered into a room, what would it be?
It's got to be the Chase theme tune, isn't it?
Brilliant. Love that. So if you had to choose a new band name based on the last thing you ate, what would it be?
What's yours? What did you eat?
Oh, I had some pasta.
I think mine would be better actually. I had ready salted crisps and fruit pastels on the way here.
The dinner of champions, that.
I was in the shop. There's no like vegan about it. So I thought, you know what? Like, it was a massive bag of crisps. Oh, what can you? So, yeah, big bag of ready salted crisps and fruit pastels. That's the new name of the band.
Have we got anything higher than that, Dylan? Can you say that one?
Just peanut butter on toast, mate. I'm quite simple with that, you know what I mean?
Classic, mate. Classic. We'll go with a ready salted band, I think, on that one, right? Ready salted and fruit pastels. So you got to get your thinking caps on for this next one. If you could replace all elevator music with one of the Chase's songs, what would you choose?
Oh, I can't even think what songs we've got now. Would you like to annoy him? I mean, I suppose trumpet on repeat in a lift would be quite annoying. After about the fifth time,
it'll make you go mental.
It would. Imagine bouncing that into work.
That's it. I mean, Laura will probably be the most fitting type one. Let's go for trumpet.
Brilliant, love that. So, obviously, as we've spoken about, you obviously got a new single coming out, obviously headline tour as well. But are there any other plans for 2024 that you can share with us, or maybe even looking sort of further afield into 2025? What's going to be happening with the Chase?
Yeah, what we got.
You tell him what thingy, Tyler.
What?
You're going on Big Brother, aren't you?
He's going all Preston.
No, maybe.
Can you imagine? It'd do my head in that. Everyone being unclean and fucking socks everywhere. No, I couldn't do it.
You know.
What the question was? What was the question?
He's putting
plans for the year. Yeah, apart from going on Big Brother, we'll have some more new music out after Unbreakable. One I'm really excited for, actually. Really excited for.
Yeah.
It's more of a wind up as well. This one, than the next one, and then next year we have some rather big shows as well, which will all be revealed actually in about 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, lovely, brilliant. Well, that's going to be.
It's all happening.
It is definitely.
Wrinkles in that now. I'm stressed dealing with it.
Brilliant, great stuff. Look, I'm delighted that you've come on and you've given us your time this evening to the three of you, Dylan, Tyler, and James. Look, I've had a great laugh. That half an hour seems to have absolutely whizzed by. I thank you very much for coming on and being such brilliant guests as always. It's great catching up and finding out everything that's going on in the world of the Chase. But before I do let you go, can you just let the This Is The Music Meets listeners know where they can find you on social media?
Oh, I'll take the read there. It's
I just gotta remember them.
Official The Chase on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. It's OFL_The Chase on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And then if you can't be bothered to do that, just go onto our website, www.officialthechase.com, and you'll find all of your chase needs right there.
Brilliant. Great stuff. Well, look, we'll put those links in the episode bio and as well the link to the gigs that you got coming up, the UK tour and obviously the UB40 one, and obviously the link as well to the forthcoming new single, Unbreakable. Lads, look, thanks very much for coming on. Yeah, that was a good laugh. I've had a few belly laughs in that one. So thank you very much. And yeah, it's very, very exciting times coming up for you boys. And I look forward to seeing what those cheeky little announcements are going to be.
Yeah, thank you for having us, mate.
Thank you very much for having us.
3, 2, 1. And all that leaves me to say is to thank everyone for listening to the latest This Is The Music Meets podcast. Please subscribe so you never miss out on any brand new episodes. And if you're loving the podcast, show us some love by leaving us a rating and written review, as it really does help the artists we interview to be discovered. If you are listening to this episode on Spotify Podcast or Apple Podcast, then stay tuned, as at the end of this episode, you'll be able to hear the brand new single from The Chase, which of course is called Unbreakable. Thanks for listening. I'll see you very, very soon for another episode of the This Is The Music Meets podcast.